Hi, I'm Lana with Red Ice. There's a lot of fuss from both the left, center, and right about what it means to be pro-European, that is, to be pro-white. They are the same thing. From cucked conservatives to anti-identitarian patriots to Bolshevik liberals, all of whom are against it. So what does it mean to be pro-European? In my opinion, I'm going to boil it down to the core, to the simplest, purest meaning. To be pro-European means you support the right of European people to exist in their own nations without forcefully becoming a minority, hence replaced by non-Europeans. It's really basic. You either support the right of white people to have self-determination as a group without outside interference, or you don't. You either want them replaced and eradicated from the planet, or you don't. To be pro-white means you want European nations to remain European. There is no in-between. You are either pro or anti-European people. You can't be a little pro-white some of the time. By refusing to reject the agenda of multiracial, multicultural societies in European nations, libertarian patriots and conservatives take a de facto anti-white stance.
I don't care if the United States is 80% brown in 30 years, as long as they're pro-gun, pro-family, want to go to the stars, want to have freedom, and don't want to be slaves.
By refusing to say European people have the right to exist as a group in their own country without mass non-European immigration, they side with anti-whites whether they realize it or not. They end up pushing the same agenda as the left. Yeah, they may kvetch about white privilege and white racism, but what's their solution? Try harder to make multiculturalism work. We can't be like the Nazis.
It's a green Nazi world government eugenics movement wrapped in a humanitarian package.
They bought the lie pushed by globalists.
Our strength is in our diversity.
We need societies that recognize diversity as a source of strength.
Our diversity is a strength.
Diversity is humanity's destiny.
Meanwhile, these patriots are staunchly pro-Jewish nationalism and Jewish identity politics, while decrying European identitarians who simply want to preserve their ethnic nation. At least we know where Bolshevik lefties stand. They will flat out say, yeah, we hate white people and want to make it impossible for them to have a country of their own. And we want to make life so difficult for them that they stop having children and eventually disappear altogether.
The task is to bring this minority together in such a way that it makes it impossible for the legacy of whiteness to continue to reproduce itself.
Conservatives seem to be just fine with Europeans being replaced by non-Europeans. They just want it slower and legally.
I don't care if you're a Hispanic immigrant, a European immigrant, African immigrant, an Asian immigrant, it doesn't matter. First generation that comes here legally, lawfully to work is super hardworking, amazing, moral, because they come from really dangerous hellholes and people appreciate the freedom.
The fact is, you can't be pro-everything all the time in the same place. It has never worked, and it will never work. It ends in conflict. When differences are too great and impossible to reconcile, the only solution is space. And it's also ridiculous because before forced mass non-European immigration, the West was a safe place. We did not ask for this. We did not vote for it. In fact, Americans voted for a wall.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Anti-identitarians will say, you can be pro-white in a multicultural society. Yeah, right. Who's the one group who can't have anything of their own or show any sort of pride in our all-inclusive, super-duper diverse society? White people. If you support liberty, as American patriots claim, it includes the right to associate or disassociate. If forcing people apart is wrong, how is forcing them together moral? Well, the anti-white establishment divides and forces white people apart all the time through mass non-European immigration, diversity quotas, and lies about white privilege and how we owe everyone everything. Lefties cry about not tearing people apart, but when Europeans want to remain together as a group, call in the armed Bolshevik guards of the Rainbow Nation and shut it down. So who can be pro-European? Anyone. Yes, you don't have to be white. There are non-whites across the world who like white people, who support the right of white people to exist in countries of their own, free from forced mass immigration and the encouraged blending out of our ethnic diversity. To be pro-European does not mean you have to have 6+ white children, or that you have to be married or be a certain religion or live like a saint. You don't even have to be a heterosexual. Pro-white is not a religion with a rule book. It's a simple yes or no stance. Sure, pro-whites have their ideas about what makes humans happiest and what is ideal for their group to thrive, and they have ideas about what kind of political system is best. But we don't have to agree on everything in order to be pro-white. People can have differing views but still be pro-European. Whites are incredibly diverse with a plethora of differences, and that won't ever change. You can be a socialist, an anarchist, a libertarian, and still be pro-white. You can be an atheist, Catholic, pagan, and still be pro-white. Anyone from any background can be and can become pro-white. You can believe in aliens and Bigfoot and still be pro-white. You might even be a former liberal. You can be preppy, sporty, goth, a cowboy, professional, a metalhead, a hippie, and still be pro-European. At the core of it, you either love European people or you don't. Either you can openly say that or you can't. Either you can say it's okay to be white without any explanations or you can't. If you want European people to be the majority in European countries, you are pro-white. Just as Asians, Africans, and Arabs are pro their own people and their own nations. Is an Asian, African, Jew, or Arab ever charged with being anti-white or Nazi for wanting their people to be a majority in their country? No, never, despite the fact that they too have each had a history of war and conquest. No one questions their self-determination. Each ethnic group and each race should be pro their own people. It would be sick to be anti your own people. Being pro-European doesn't mean you can't have non-white friends or that you are anti-everyone else. This is a straw man. It means you, as an ethnically European person, understand that you share a unique bond with those whom you are genetically related to. You understand that you have a shared history, culture, and ancestry with your folk. In order to remain a people and uphold your customs, you need your own space and you need to remain the majority. It's been this way since the beginning of time. You can't have a rapid demographic change and remain the same culture. You can be pro your own people and pro other people and their nations too. Pro-white is anti-globalism and anti-mass immigration, but there are plenty of non-whites who are pro their own people who also oppose globalism. European people are most diverse, so much to a detriment at times. We are a people who require variety. Even among European nationalists, there are nuances. We may disagree on some things, but in the end, there's one question that binds us together or tears us apart. Do you want European people to continue to have countries of their own or not? Everything else follows. A warm thanks to our members who make videos like this possible. We can't do it without you. It's because of you that alternative media like Red Ice exists. Our own media is crucial in these times as the mass media machine works on overdrive, spewing fake news and anti-European propaganda. We put ourselves out there risking everything for you all. So please help out our team. The best way is to sign up for a Red Ice membership at redicemembers.com, where you'll receive full access to all our content. The other way is to make a donation. The links are provided in the description of this video. We need you guys. We can't grow without your help. We are facing great challenges, but we're also making headway as our message is spreading. So help us do more. Head over to redicemembers.com. Love you all. See you next time.